Welcome to Love Connection, where old-fashioned romance meets modern-day technology. Where you hear all the intimate details of a first date. And now, here's your host, Chuck Woolery.
Let's get started on meeting our first guest. He admits that he's a little hyper and kind of crazy. Considers himself a ladies' man. He was married for 7 months. He was divorced for 7 months. He's been divorced for 7 months. And he says that when he said, "I do," he knew he was making a big mistake. Please welcome Bob McIntyre. Hi, Bob. Good to see you. Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask a little bit about your brief marriage.
Not much to ask, but go for it.
Well, maybe there's not much to tell.
Yeah, no, what happened was we met on the phone and so forth, and met her at a laundromat that night. A few weeks later, we got married. A couple weeks after that, we got in the newlywed game.
Oh.
And from there, it went all downhill, and a few months after that, we got a divorce and so forth. So, and I always did want to go on your show anyways.
You what?
I always wanted to be on Love Connection.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a TV romance you got going here.
Yeah, really.
Well, I tell you what, let's bring everybody up to date on what happened yesterday. We showed the audience Bob's 3 choices. They voted on which one they thought would be best for him. We're going to take a look and catch you up. First, there's Jackie. She says that she often meets men when she's looking her worst. Patty, when she doesn't have a date, she likes to stay home and curl up with her cat in front of the TV. Wendy thinks a good way to meet a man is to ask him to dance. Now, the audience vote was recorded yesterday. We'll get that a little later out now. Bob's going to remind us who he chose.
I picked Jackie.
Picked Jackie. Backstage, say hello to Jackie and Memphis. Hi, Jackie. Make trouble at home back there. We'll get down to business.
Okay, we decided that she would come out here and so forth.
Come out here?
Come out here. She lives in Palm Desert.
Oh, I see.
So...
Well, that's a pretty good drive.
Yeah, so anyway...
Now, how come you didn't want him to drive to you, or did you? Not...
Oh, well, I figured that I live in a small town. Palm Springs is small, and I figured if he came out my way, everybody and their mother would know where we were at.
Oh, I see.
I thought it would be more private. I didn't mind.
So she came out here to meet you?
Correct.
Come to your house?
Came to my apartment where when she buzzed me, I went downstairs, and when I saw her, boy, she was a stone fox.
Is that it?
She was gorgeous. I meant, my heart was going thump, 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 thump.
I could hear it. I could hear it, Chuck. It went thump, 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 thump.
Is that right? What did you think of him when you saw him?
Oh, I thought he was great. He was gorgeous. And he smelled, he was wearing some cologne, and it was like, you know, I like that. I mean, it showed that he cared about himself. I thought it was great. It's really cute. I couldn't look at him at first, though. I had to wait until he had turned around first. Because we'd, you know, embarrassed.
So things are going pretty good.
Oh,
well, now
great.
your guys have got to be real excited. Now what happened?
So anyways, we went to Universal Studios.
What'd you go do over there?
He
Did you go
took
to the
pictures
tour?
Yeah, we went on the tour and so forth, and then afterwards, we came back to my apartment, where if it went good, I was going to take her up to meet my parents and so forth.
Okay.
But no, so before I called them, you know, gave her first kiss.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did that?
That was good.
Tell me how that came about, Jackie.
The kiss?
Yeah.
Oh, the kiss was great. We were sitting on his sofa, and, you know, we kissed a little bit, but then he showed me a videotape. Yeah, no. He showed me the tape of the newlywed game that he had been on with his wife. And I couldn't believe that was his wife, first of all. And then he was such a jerk. I mean, he cut down on her so bad. And I told him, I said, you were a jerk. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's the worst I've ever seen. And he said that, you know, I'd never want to go out with a guy like that anyways. And he said that he had changed in the last year. I think he did.
Yeah. So now what happened?
So anyways, we drove up to my parents' house, and where my mom absolutely adored her.
His mom was so nice.
She thought she was wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we ended up talking most of the time. We went aside and we ended up talking about him, of course, but it was nice.
Good. Okay. So now what happened?
so anyways, then we went to a restaurant in Malibu where we had a window seat. and that literally you can see the waves crashing and so forth.
He had to fight for that window seat, by the way, and I was impressed. I thought that was real nice.
He did fight for it.
Yeah.
So it's very romantic, I'm assuming. So now, yeah, go through dinner.
So anyways, we went back to my apartment, and, you know, we cuddled on the couch and did a few more kisses and so forth, and, since, you know, I knew that I wanted to see her again and so forth, and I wanted to be a gentleman. And
what time are we talking about?
Oh, God, we're talking about 12:30.
12:30, and she's got to drive back to Palm Desert.
I called him, he made me
Which,
call
by the
him
way,
when I
for
got
folks
home.
around the country, Palm Desert from Los Angeles is about 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
An hour and a half for him, yeah.
Oh. Well, so how'd the date end?
Well, it ended where we departed and so forth. Gave her a nice big hug and a kiss, but I just couldn't. I mean, my heart. Well, now people call me Thumper because my heart goes thump 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 thump.
Every time you think about it.
Every time I think about her, they call me Thumper.
And she's
now.
way down in Palm Desert.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She is. But I'll tell you, the drive's worth it.
How does he compare to other men that you've dated recently, Jackie?
Oh, there's no comparison. The guys that I've dated have been imbeciles, I think is a good word for it. But
Terribly sorry to hear that.
He's been such a sweetheart. He's been a total gentleman, and he's been great. I've had a great time with you.
Let's take a look and see who the audience picked for you. Sound like this went pretty well. They picked Jackie 67. You like another date with her? We'll pay for it. All right with you, Jackie?
I'm ready.
Yeah, come on out. I guess he couldn't wait for us to walk over here.
Really.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay in touch and let us know how you're doing.
yeah.
We will.
We will.
Okay. Going to come back to the next couple. We'll meet our next guest. Now, a few weeks ago, our studio audience selected a date for him. He's back to tell us about that date. If a woman smokes on a date with him, he'll dump her on the spot. He owns a limousine service. He's looking for a woman who's as committed to her career as he is. Please welcome Ashely Poyani. So how are you going to know if a woman is committed to her career?
Well, I think if she makes about $45,000 a year, I'll say she's pretty committed.
Well, so
But I mean, it really doesn't have to be, though. But that's basically, I think the amount of money she makes probably says a lot about her. But I tell you what, just a minute. But if she's beautiful, she can make nada. It's fine with me.
So it doesn't matter.
Right, doesn't
Not
matter.
really doesn't matter. Okay. So, you got an attitude, you know?
I know
Does
I
he have
do.
an attitude or what?
That's what everybody says, but I think they love me for that.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
You meet a lot of women through your limo service. I mean, you got to, I suppose.
But yeah, I think to a certain degree, I meet a lot of girls. What happens is the girls call, let's say last Sunday I had a girl calling and she wanted to go to a dinner. So while we're talking on the phone, she goes, why don't you take me to brunch in the morning? I said, my gosh, don't you have to go to dinner with some guy? She goes, forget the guy, let's have lunch together. I said, okay.
So
But yeah, you get to meet a lot of girls that call you. Basically what they want to do, they want to have fun. So they just want to start it right away.
Yeah.
So that's what.
You ever have a serious relationship, or are these just kind of casual things?
I
that
think
you
I
do?
had a lot of casual relationships, no serious ones, but I like to though.
You see, you don't strike me as the kind of guy who would really take a relationship seriously. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it as an observation, and I could be absolutely wrong.
Actually, I think you're
He
right.
said.
You're right. No question about that. I think I like to.
It seems like you'd like to play around a lot, because I think you like yourself a lot.
I think to. I think to a certain degree you may be right. I think to a
Okay.
certain degree you're right. But you know what happens is as you grow, you get to know yourself a little better. You realize, you know, I think there's plenty of time to get serious. I think
Yeah.
you should have fun while you can. And when it's time to get serious, well, you get serious. I don't see any problem with that.
Well, let's, I tell you what, Ashely agreed to let their audience choose his date, and they did that. We're going to show everybody the three women that they had to choose from. First, there was Victoria. Now, she dates about 4 times a week, and she says that basically, if a man's working, she'll go out with him. He's got a job, I guess. Next, there's Eamon. She sometimes has trouble keeping men around after they meet her at Pitbull Cracker, excuse me. This is Brenda. She says that she's the one who usually asks for the phone number. Now, the audience picked one of those women for Ashely, and we're going to meet her right after this message, and we'll do it in 2 and 2. All right, we're back, and you're going to have to remind me who the audience chose. I don't remember.
They chose Brenda.
They chose Brenda. Okay, she's backstage. Say hello to Brenda. Hi, Brenda. How are you? Good, thanks. Good. Make yourself at home back there, and Ashely will start us off.
I gave her a call, and I told her let's meet in Laguna Beach, and she said she's never been there, so that was...
In Laguna Beach?
Right.
Oh, that's kind of nice. What a nice surprise for her. And what sort of plans did he have for this date, Brenda?
Well, actually, he made it sound like it was going to be really, exciting. He said he had a bunch of surprises for me, and which I was looking forward to. He said the one thing he could tell me, though, is that he was going to take me to an exquisite French cuisine where the maitre d' would do us up fine. And I thought, oh, that sounds good. And he told me to make sure and get 2 extra gowns because we were going to just be...
2 extra gowns?
Yeah, gowns.
Did he tell you much about himself while he was talking to you?
Yeah. In the first 5 minutes, I knew that Ashely owned a house in Laguna Beach. He had owned a house in Orange County. He was in a limo business, something like that. He did real estate. He only wore designer silk suits. And...
Chuck, no, I tell you, I don't think I told you all
this is
of
true,
that
by the way.
No, I don't think I told her on that on the phone, did I?
Yeah.
I think I let you do most of the talking, don't you think so?
No, I don't think so. No, I believe...
Do I have a feeling this is not going to go right on target here? Well, no, tell me what happened. I don't want to get ahead of what's going on.
That's fine. We met at Laguna Beach about 11 a.m. and she showed up and she was dressed somewhat conservative for what I say for being meeting on the beach. She had this black dress gown that was really conservative with this cut-off boots, real, just black boots.
Do you think she misunderstood what you said? Because she said bring a couple of gowns. So.
Well, I meant for later on in the evening, but I mean, I tell you, she was very conservative and... That's about it. That's my first impression of her.
That she was conservative.
To a certain degree.
What did you think of him in person, Brenda?
He's an okay-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy. Not the type I actually usually go for, but I usually go for more the creative types, the, musicians, writers, actors, that type. But he's a good-looking guy.
She's pretty attractive, don't you think?
Yeah, she's pretty attractive. I never questioned that. So we proceed. We go to a party a friend of mine had in Anaheim Hills, a really nice party. I did not anticipate that we're going to have so much food and so much things happening. I thought it would be a smaller party, so I took her there. A really nice place. I introduced her to everybody, and they had the catered food and the drinks. So we sit down and...
Did you enjoy this?
The people were very nice, but the majority of the day was spent sitting at a picnic table, eating picnic food and talking real estate, which, wasn't really exciting, but
Well, was he talking real estate to you? Is this how the date?
No, I was actually talking to a lot of other people. He wasn't saying too much to me, so I was kind of talking to everybody else, and they were really nice, though.
So after the picnic, what do you do?
Well, no,
Do you feel like you were kind of leaving her out? I get the impression that she felt that way.
I don't think I left her out, but basically what she was telling people that she had a little patio in her apartment in Venice, and they had a garage, and as if these people really cared, because, they got a big house. I mean, it doesn't matter to the people. Well, just a minute. Then she tells them that she tells the people that she has a master's degree, right? And then they ask her, well, what do you do? She goes, well, I sell T-shirts. And I just told myself, what a waste of a master's degree to have a master's degree and sell a T-shirt.
So now after the picnic, what do you do?
After the picnic, we started eating around 12:31, and this is about 4 o'clock. She ate plenty, and so did I, actually. So we get back in the car. As I'm driving down, she reclined her seat. As soon as she got in the car, she reclined her seat all the way back, as if she known me for years, right? I mean, you do that when you're going to Palm Springs. It's a long drive out in the desert. So while I'm driving, I got to look back down and talk to her. She was really stuffed, she told me. So we drive down back to the beach. As I'm going down back to our house, she tells me, tell me about the restaurant we're going to. I said, gosh,
well, did he do a lot of talking on this drive, Brenda?
Actually, I started trying to talk and ask more questions about him. And, I didn't tell you this before, but 10 minutes into the date, he actually looked at me and said, hey, Brenda, I might not pick you on the second date. Don't be offended or anything, but there's this crazy girl on this tape, and she was crazy. I mean, I have to find out about her. I don't know.
Gee, Brenda.
That's pretty close.
She really got me.
Did you ever go to that exclusive French restaurant? I mean, did that ever come?
No, we never did, so I don't know. I suppose one thing of shrimp cocktail and coffee is about as much as he,
Well, yeah, then I just...
So I guess is it just what happened here? What happened?
Well, Chuck, basically, what happened
Hang on
was...
just a second, though, Brenda. What happened, Ashely? What happened?
Well, what happened, Chuck, when I really saw it at the very beginning, I basically lost it at that point, to be honest with you.
Really?
But I tell you, I really lost it because...
See, I was sitting here looking at her. That's hard for me to believe.
But Chuck, I
guess,
tell you, you haven't seen the rest of her, though. See, that's kind of deceiving at that point.
It's safe to assume that you don't want another date with Brenda, and I guess she probably doesn't with you. But anyway, Brenda, I'm sorry that we didn't make a love connection
That's
for you.
okay. You know, Ashely is, I'm sure there's somebody out there for him.
Well, you know, and maybe we'll find somebody for you and get to see all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda.
No problem.
And when the audience chooses a date and it doesn't work out, we offer a date with one of the other two women. We're going to take a look at them again, okay? First is Victoria. She thinks that two of her better attributes are her clothes and her eating habits. Then Iman, she says that it's a sure sign that a man wants to get romantic when she starts to massage her back, or when he starts to massage her back. So I guess this was pretty disastrous.
I'll say to a certain degree it was, but I mean, you know, I had a good time.
Would you like to go out with either one of these other ladies?
I think I'm going to stay on my own at this point.
I guess that's safe enough. Thanks for coming on the show,
My pleasure.
Ashely. I'm sorry it was such a bad situation for you. We're going to come right back with another couple. Stay with us. To let our audience decide who she should go out with. We're going to meet her right now. She was raised in Indiana and claims that one facet about California men really surprised her. She recently ended an 8-year relationship, and she says that men could use a few lessons on handing out compliments. Please welcome Kim Plota. So, is it your feeling that men don't pay enough compliments?
Well, they don't pay me any.
They don't pay you any?
I've been called the Grinch. Like, I have the figure of the Grinch who stole Christmas in Dr. Seuss.
They told you that? Well, who was this Claude?
Well, not a friend anymore, let's
Boy,
put
I
it
guess
that way.
not. Now, you were married for 8 years? Is that what it was?
No.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
it says...
8-year relationship.
Oh, you were in an 8-year relationship?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now you didn't date in those 8 years. It's got to be a
We
little...
dated each other, right.
My life is really tough. Take it easy on me, will you?
I'm sorry.
But after those 8 years, was it hard to go out and get into the dating scene again? This is what I was driving at through all of those kind of...
Yes, it's interesting. And I'm not from California. I came out here to be with him.
I see.
And then here I am all by myself in California, and it's definitely a different breed.
Well, now, how did you two manage to stay together for 8 years?
We never lived in the same city.
Oh. Where did he live?
Well, I lived in Florida, and he lived in Indiana. Then he lived in California, and I lived in Florida.
Then you came out here, got together, and bingo.
It was over.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we're going to show you portions of the videotapes that Kim saw, and I remember she agreed to let our audience choose her date, so here we go. First, it was David. He says that women tell him that he resembles Robbie Benson, but they'd be more attracted to him if he lost 20 pounds. He likes to take women away on vacations, and he told us about a trip to Disney World that didn't go as expected.
She just got up and left and started talking to one of the waiters there. She was totally fascinated with this Frenchman. So I said, all right, fine. So I just went back to my room, packed up, went into a different room hotel, gave her a ticket, enough fare to go back to the taxi, and I went about finishing the rest of the week by myself.
Okay, next there is Nick. He says that women find his mustache and slim build to be his best attributes. He'd like to meet a woman who likes art, photography, and who'll be ready when he picks her up for a date. And here's Rick's little secret to romantic success.
I like to kiss people, girls on the nose. They get a little surprised about that, but yeah. Nose kissing is nice. I don't mean Eskimo nose rubbing, but, you know, kissing on the nose.
Okay. Finally, Clay is originally from Charleston, West Virginia. That's pretty close to where I grew up. He's looking for a woman who likes trips to Vegas and who will help him remodel his house. In addition, she should stand somewhere between 4'10" and 6'2". And here's why he sometimes holds back on the fact that he works with computers.
I'm kind of leery about telling someone, especially a woman that I've just met, that I think I may be interested in, that I'm a computer engineer, because she's going to say, oh, well, gee, where's his black glasses with the white tape and, you know, his pocket protector, that whole 9 yards. I'm not like that at all. At least I hope I don't present that image. I don't own a pocket protector. None of my clothes are polyester, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
All right. All right, you met Kim. You've seen her 3 choices. Now, whoever you pick, that's who she's going to have to go out with, so pick away. You ready to see who you're going to go out with?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's see who the audience picked for you. Well, they picked David, 44%. I guess they thought David was kind of cute. Maybe you would too. But anyway, hopefully that'll work out. We'll see you back in a few weeks. You can tell us about your date with David. Thanks for coming on the show.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and that's our show for today. We'll be back next time with more singles trying to make a love connection. Until then, I'm Chuck Woolery. Hope all your dates are good ones. Bye-bye, everybody.